Well, even when the government was not entirely right of center, there was very little progress, if any, in the peace negotiations with the Palestinians. With this government, I do not expect a single movement forward as far as the peace process goes. And as a matter of fact, I think it will not only be installed, but for sure the settlement will be expanded. Maybe more territory will be expropriated. That is going to create a major, major problem. And obviously, the White House pretty much decided there is no point in pushing now for the resumption of the peace negotiations. And the Palestinian Authority are now determined to go back to the United Nations Security Council and try again to get recognition by the UN body for statehood. And so this government basically changed the dynamics in a very, very negative way. And so the consequences of that is basically more time will be wasted, and it is not in Israel's favor. Well, I mean, when you have in Israel, first of all, let me say this to you: political ambitions and come first, favoritism come second or third, party interests come third or second, for that matter. But the truth of them, what we see when you survey the Israeli political system, you find that unless these first three elements are satisfied, you're going to pretty much neglect the national interest. Almost inadvertently, that's what's going to happen. And this is what's been taking place. So when you have a single party, like, say, take the Jewish Home, who, because Lieberman defected, Naftali Bennett, the leader of this party, became basically the kingmaker. He made sure, and he was able successfully extort, I should say, from Netanyahu, just about everything that he wanted. The worst thing and the most appalling thing, in my view, is that appointing, for example, Ayelet Shaked to be the justice minister, no less. I just want you to think about a justice minister of an individual who openly called for the annihilation of the Palestinian people, men, women, and children. And it is so pathetic, so sad. And just imagine what kind of message appointment of Shaked to this particular position sent to the international community. And that is terrible for Israel's image. I really don't think that this government is representative of the Israeli public, because you have to look at the numbers. Netanyahu, albeit he won 30 seats in the Israeli parliament, this represents only 25% of the total number, which is 120. Moreover, only 70% of the Israeli public voted. So even if you include Naftali Bennett party, that is a Jewish Home, between the two of them, they have only 30%. So what kind of representative government is this? What you need a single party that actually has a majority with a specific agenda. But when you have this kind of representation, which does not really reflect the public opinion, specifically when it comes to the peace process, just think, more than 70% of the Israeli public consistently would like to see an end to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And why is that not happening? One of the main reasons is the fact that the leadership has been, by and large, I dare say, bankrupt. Because if they were not pursuing peace in earnest, then peace is not going to happen, notwithstanding the public exhaustion and the desire to end this horrifying conflict that's been going on now for more than nearly 70 years. I really hope so, and I believe, based on what we're hearing and seeing, that he will not do so, because I think he knows that if he does join this kind of government, his own political career, his own political ambition to become the prime minister and do something positive for the country will be over. So I think if I were to advise him, I'll tell him to stay away from this kind of government, be strong in the opposition, challenge the government in every which way, in every direction, and make every effort you can to topple the Netanyahu government, and then force go to new elections in Israel. And he may well stand a much better chance to form the next Israeli government. You're going to need a change of leadership. Netanyahu has outlived his usefulness, if he was ever useful. And the time has come for change. And I think Herzog stands a better chance today than any of his predecessors in the Labour Party to be able to achieve that.